Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 29th of December. I want to use the Wildwood Tarot today, and let me show you some of the cards. Right, so I'm just going to ask the tarot, what do we need to know for Thursday, the 29th, and what is this day going to look like? Right, so first card, the World Tree, the Two of Arrows, Injustice, and the Knight of Bows, Fox. Okay, so I get the sense that you're really engaged with life on this day. The World Tree is the last card in the Major Arcana, and that says that you've got to a really good place within yourself. You've experienced the 4 seasons, you've walked the labyrinth of life, you've come home. You know yourself, you know your own strength, you know what's important to you and what isn't. At the same time, we've got the Two of Arrows, and we've got this woman who's blindfolded. She's holding 2 arrows across her chest in this kind of defensive position. So there's a sense that, and she's got the bow under her foot, so she's not taking any action. It's almost like she's waiting for something to come to her. So the feeling I get via this is that you may feel like there's a lot going on in your life where you don't have all the answers, where you don't see 100% clearly, and it may feel threatening and difficult. The good thing is that with the World Tree, there's an understanding that I can handle whatever comes my way, but it may feel a little uncomfortable via the Two of Arrows because it's like, what am I walking into here? I don't feel like I have the whole picture, and that makes me a little nervous. Finally, though, the fox, and I just want to talk about the fox because the animal in itself, and I'm using these cards today for a reason, is associated with cunning and intelligence and circumnavigating difficult kind of circumstances in its own life and really getting through security systems, like, where they keep chickens or whatever. Foxes are famous for breaking into those and causing havoc. So with just the fox, it kind of reassures you that if you do feel a little bit under pressure at the moment, you certainly have the know-how and the expertise to deal with that, particularly how you can see the situation and manage it so that you get a good outcome from it. So your own self-interest is really being represented by the fox. The Knight of Bows is the Knight of Wands. Knight cards are always extreme. They don't have total control of the element yet. So the great news about the Knight of Bows is that he's inspired, he's purposeful, he is living his life purpose. He knows that what he's doing is very important to him and will lead to good places in his life. So it's worth taking a risk. On the downside, if things don't go his way, he can get a little bit angry or destructive or even self-destructive. So with this card, I think it's important to tap into your own sense of bigger perspective. I've dealt with difficult situations before, so I don't need to get angry. Or this was 10 years ago, I had a similar experience. Let me look at how I dealt with it there so I can go into this situation informed and try and manage it for myself. So let's say there was a legal negotiation for some sort of work that was meant to be published. And 10 years ago, you really didn't stick up for your own rights and you got like 1% of the royalties or whatever, and the whole thing really didn't work out for you. So with that experience, even if you don't know what this meeting is going to be like, you go in and you say, well, if a contract is going to be reached here, I'm going to make sure I get 10% and I don't make the same mistake as I did last time. So you're super cunning in lots of different ways. You've got all your experience and expertise at your disposal, and that means you can really argue your case very well as such, or certainly stand up for your rights or for what you'd like to get out of the situation. So the only thing to avoid via the Knight of Wands, I would say, is to hear something that doesn't particularly please you, and then to say, okay, that's enough. I'm walking out of this situation, or I'm removing myself from the situation. It's much better to grapple with the communications you're getting via other people, via yourself, and to find some sort of place of resolution, because the fact of the matter is that you can hammer things out, but it's about being consistent and sticking with it and not letting your feelings of frustration or anger derail the whole situation, because you can get a fabulous outcome. Okay, so the 21st card in the Major Arcana really means that you're in a good spot. So ultimately, if you don't have big things going on via communication or life purpose, this card says it's a great time to simply enjoy your life, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to recognize how far you've come. And it's interesting that there's a labyrinth before it, because and then we've got this little door where the person lives. So it's like, if you want to get to me, you're going to have to do the work, not me. And that really is a place of confidence. So you have good boundaries. You've got major experience. So what I'm getting via this is that you can apply the intelligence of the fox to your own life and see how far you've come, and you can really recognize patterns. So that can be then inner work of saying, okay, I don't need to reach out or acquire anything. I've got everything I need. And if someone wants the value that exists within me, they're going to have to work for it and come to me rather than the other way around. So there's a certain sense of accomplishment here. And if you tap into that, you can navigate your relationships very well. Any plans you've got in future for your work or your living situation, it's kind of like, because we don't even see a person here, they're hidden, you're having a very private moment of understanding with yourself and protecting your own interests again. Wow. Okay, in this card, we've got the Libra scales here then. What you put out, you get back, and that has been a bit of a theme lately. And this is, we've got some coins there and a feather. So it's weighing things up on a spiritual level. And in this case, I really get, do I make commitments and look at finances and work? And do I balance that up against my spiritual truth or kind of my understanding of the way things should be? And because they're balanced, I don't think you're ever going to sell yourself out. So there's a very low risk of you kind of taking a job that really doesn't pay you enough or doesn't use your skills or your experience. Because this is balanced, you're not going to betray yourself in any way. So that's a good energy to tap into, because it means the day gives you these amazing boundaries so that you never kind of get yourself in a situation which would be beneath you or harmful to you in any way, even though you don't have the bigger picture via this blindfold. On a spiritual level and experiential level, and everything that you've gone through is right there, and it means you don't have to have the bigger picture. You're going to be very balanced in your decision making, and I really, again, get the sense that you're never going to put yourself in a spot that's less than ideal. And then the Knight of Bows, he's kind of smiling at us here. You're enjoying the process. If you can avoid kind of emotional outbursts or your own feelings kind of sabotaging you in some way, then not only can you get the result you want, but you can have a good fun time doing it while you're having the conversations or the meetings or the meditation that you do at home for a greater sense of understanding. So understanding I've mentioned, cunning I've mentioned. If there's anything in your life about yourself that you haven't understood, look at it again today, you'll understand it. If the life purpose has been a little bit murky, you haven't felt a lot of direction, motivation, what should I do next, you'll get that. And also if there's been a sense of, oh, I'm disappointed, or why am I not this person, you can go home with it, be comfortable, see how far you've come, that even though your life isn't perfect, you certainly have built something amazing. And it's from that place of acceptance and understanding and praise of the self, that's what then eventually will allow you to open the door, come back out, and walk the next labyrinth in your life. And here, it's not a labyrinth, it's a fun little skip along these lines, and then I go off to the next adventure. There's a sense of ease and certainty associated with this that's priceless as far as I'm concerned. Number-wise, we've got 21, and 1 is 22, and another 2 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6, and 6 in numerology is a temporary opportunity. So the opportunity to figure things out for yourself with your own interest in mind, based on all your knowledge, experience, and know-how. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the perfect day for negotiating anything where it's you in connection with other people. It could be a partnership, or a relationship. And if you haven't kind of stated your own case, or if you've let things slide, then you can really recognize those todays and choose again if you're going to keep going in that way, or if you're going to change the behavior or relationship or whatever it may be. You have all the power. So I hope you have a great day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share it online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.